Hello, I'm Adrian and welcome to my second Minutemen lesson. Recently I looked at the song West Germany and today I'm going to be looking at the song Vietnam, and there's some more great and striking guitar playing from D. Boon in this song. I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet, going to try not to talk too much, so let's get straight down to business and I'll talk you through how to play it. So the song breaks up quite nicely into 3 or 4 different riffs. The first riff we hear is this one. All based on this 9th chord shape, and we actually saw this chord shape in the previous Minutemen song that I looked at, West Germany, so it's obviously a favourite chord grip of D. Boon's. We're starting off with this G9, so that's the 10th fret on the A string, 9 on the D, and then the 10th fret on the top 3 strings. And then we're just moving that up 1 fret at a time, so it's G9, G sharp 9, A9, and then we're going back in the other direction, A, G sharp, G, and we're just keeping those chord hits quite short and sharp, so just releasing pressure with your fretting hand. Just repeating that, and that's the intro to the song, and that also serves as the outro to the song as well. Then we're on into the main riff. That goes like this. And that's using those same 9th chord shapes, but we've also got this chord here, which some of you will know as the Hendrix chord, so called because it's used in Foxy Lady, Purple Haze, amongst other Jimi Hendrix songs, I think. So proper name of this chord is a D7 sharp 9, so we're playing the 5th fret on the A string, 4 on the D, 5 on the G, and that's the sharp 9, that's the 6th fret on the B string, so a nice kind of quite dissonant sounding chord. We're playing a D7 sharp 9, then we're just moving that 2 frets down to a C7 sharp 9, and we're just breaking that chord up a little bit with the picking hand, so I'm playing the root note or the lowest couple of notes in the chord and then the higher notes, and I'm doing that with a down up of the pick. Then we're back up to these 9th chords. We've got G, G sharp and A9. Second time round it's the same 9th chords, but they're going in the other direction, so from high to low. So that's the riff, the 2 Hendrix chords and the 9th chords going up, Hendrix chords again, and the 9th chords coming down. So let's just talk briefly about the rhythm. I think the rhythm is important here. It's quite a funky, slightly syncopated rhythm. Best thing to do is just to listen to it and try and feel it, but if you're struggling with that, then you can always try figuring out exactly what's going on, counting out the rhythm and working on it that way until you can just internalize it and start feeling it. So the first 2 chords, we've got 1 and 2 and 3, so playing on the 1 and the and of 1, and then it's the and of 2 and then 3, 1 and 2 and 3. Now those 9th chord hits, they're falling on beat 1 and then the last 16th note of beat 1 and then on the and of 2. So it helps with this and with a lot of funky stuff. If you're just feeling those underlying 16th notes kind of ticking by, it's like a grid of 16th notes that you're feeling, kind of 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and so we got 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And then what you can hear on the recording is just some little scratches in there, and those really help with the groove and just help with the rhythm as well. So you don't need to overthink that, but if you can just feel those 16th notes with your pick, then in between those chord hits you can just allow some muted scratch notes to come through. So that's the main riff of the song. Moving on to the next riff, I suppose this is the verse of the song. It goes like this. All based on these little 3-note minor triad shapes. And we're starting off with this E minor triad in the first inversion for you theory nerds, and that's the 5th fret on the D string, 4th fret on the G, 5th fret on the B strings, E minor triad. Then we're just moving that up 2 frets to an F sharp minor triad, and then we're moving on to the top 3 strings. We've got 7th fret on the top 3 strings, that's B minor, moving that down 2 frets to A minor, playing that again, and then down 2 more frets to a G minor. So those are the shapes that we're dealing with here. Tricky thing here potentially is again the rhythm, because it's quite funky, it's quite syncopated. So again, best thing to do is just to try and listen to it, try and feel it. If you must count it out, then do so. But we've got the E minor happening on beat 1. We've got 1 and 2 and. The F sharp minor is on the and of 2. Maybe just some scratched muted notes in between those 2 chords. And then all of the minor triad shapes on the top 3 strings are on upbeats. So we've got the and of 4. It's 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All on the and. So 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So if I put all of that together, we've got 2, 3, 4. And that just repeats. I think probably 4 times. So the last riff we need to talk about is this one. And it's all based off of this little 3-note 7th chord shape. We're starting off by just playing 3 single notes. We're playing this A note here, 5th fret on the low E string, playing that 3 times, keeping those notes quite staccato, and it's played in a quarter note triplet rhythm. Then we're just falling into this little 7th chord shape. That's 5 on the low E, 4 on the A, 5 on the D. It's an A7, and we're just immediately sliding that up 2 frets to a B7. So and then we're just doing exactly the same thing, but moved over to the next set of 3 strings. So we're starting with this D note, 5th fret on the A string. Then similar 7th chord shapes here. We've got a D7, sliding up 2 frets to an E7. So all of that riff. And then the whole thing goes round again. And that's about all we have time for today. That's how you play Vietnam. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.